Sex stay unique, tribe protect. Sex stay unique. Hello, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. My name is Noah,
And I'm Elise.
and we are here with Sac State Unique, doing a very special exclusive interview with a tribe quartet. They're going to be playing for us at our nooner on March 17th. That's going to be a Wednesday at 12 p.m. Of course, here with me is Elise.
Hello, I will be doing tech today for our interview, helping out with graphics as Noah's interviewing a tribe quartet. So without further ado, let's jump into the interview.
So,
Facts. I'm not moving yet.
all right, welcome everyone. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We are with a tribe quartet, half of tribe quartet actually. We have David McKissick and Eric Kuvakos with us. Howdy, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us.
Yo, yo.
Howdy.
My name is Noah Flores, and I am here with Elise Fresquez.
Howdy.
Yeah.
Hey.
So yeah, freaking, how was your guys' day? What you guys been up to today?
Today's chilling. I've got nothing going, and so yeah, just been like relaxing. It's been great.
Rest day.
Yeah, exactly.
Word. I have a little engagement out in Richmond a little later, so I'm prepping for that.
Where are you?
Other than that, I'm good, chilling. It's been a nice day, sunshine.
Yeah, man. Are you driving all the way to the Bay from Sac or?
Yeah, I'll probably be leaving it in like 30-ish minutes, 35, 40 minutes. I got time. So I'm just in the car because it's a vibe.
Yeah. Very, very. So I love what you guys have been doing in Sacramento. I'm so happy that you guys are able to play again. I know you guys were gigging full time, or at least almost full time before Rona. And what has that been like? You know, just like having to take a break and then play when you can, or how has this last year been for you guys?
Yeah. It's been pretty interesting. We definitely had to take a step back, like of course, playing shows or whatnot because there wasn't any happening. But it made us really think about what we were doing as an ensemble and what direction we were trying to go. Because I find that playing the gig life, you get caught up in the whole, okay, I just want to play this show. I'm trying to make this money. I want to have fun and do this. I will say having to be locked down, it made us reevaluate like, okay, maybe that we should put more emphasis on recording. Okay, maybe we should put more emphasis on uh, uh, just creating and honing in our sound as an ensemble. So for us, I mean, musically, it's been pretty productive and pretty nice, I would say.
Hell yeah. Eric, how about you?
Pretty much same thing. Like we had like a few months where we didn't even meet for a little while, and then we got back to it, and we were just doing like once a week rehearsals. And so definitely a lot of time to like reflect and see what we were really doing with the group, since we weren't just like busy with shows every week and things like that. And so we got like a lot of new music that we were working on. We were like tightening up a lot of the stuff that we were playing. And so we're actually like hitting it pretty hard. We've been like really productive for the last few months, all
Right.
things aside.
Right. And
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Fair.
when so like from when things started popping off to where you guys were finally able to play together again, like in a performance, how long was that time period?
We didn't play together as an ensemble until I believe it was Juneteenth. So it was about
Yeah.
6 months. 6 months? Six months.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Dang.
No.
No,
Yeah,
no,
6 months.
because
We could take a
little
little
less.
hiatus.
it started popping off in around
Well,
April.
Yeah, so it was like 3, 4
right, but but I'm trying to think of when our last gig was because I remember at the time going up to that we played at Shady sometime in
Word.
January. It was like January 21st was our last actual gig, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, for gigs, yeah, totally.
Yeah, that was our last. I mean, we were rehearsing semi-regularly up until March, and then stuff popped off. So,
yeah.
but
No, that's
yeah, I think our last gig was like, yeah.
totally. And I mean, like, I'm sure you guys weren't like, oh yeah, let's like gig as much as we can. And you're like, well, we'll have time the rest of the year. It's like, damn. Rona's got no love. Rona's got no love for us. So that's sick.
No, it does not.
And you guys have been able to, support yourselves. Like, how are some ways that you guys been able to actually support yourselves? I mean, I know teaching's a thing, but is that enough?
Yeah. So I feel like COVID was an interesting time. It just made me have to, it made all of us really have to diversify our efforts as artists. So, it went from just being gigs to like, okay, now I'm doing lessons. Now I'm doing a lot of like recording work, and I'm like, tracking stuff for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I still take very socially distanced gigs there's a bunch of parameters and stuff involved and stuff, but I still do that, and there's not a lot of those. But primarily it's been teaching. Teaching has just been a nice fall. Teaching and recording for me, at least.
Right. Hired gun. That's not a bad skill.
Yeah.
What about you, Eric?
I was really fortunate that since I was already like teaching pretty much full time, I was like able to keep doing that through Corona. We just like switched to like online lessons for a few months. So I was like really lucky that I could still do that to like pay all my bills and stuff. And then it was just more like trying to find a new creative outlet. And like without gigs, if like I was just teaching full time, it was like, I need something else than just like showing 6-year-olds how to play a G chord for like a month straight. Like it's great and I love it. And like my students are awesome, but like I also needed like something else on the side. And so that turned into like, once rehearsals got going again, just like writing a bunch of new stuff and just like getting all of that energy out in like 3 hours on a Saturday, which has actually been
some
nice
really good stuff.
Saturday.
You guys have been on it musically. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interject. But Eric, I got to give him he came in with joints, man. He came in with some good tunes.
Oh man, I was so pent up, man. I was just like, all right, this is like the one time I can play in like 6 months. Like, all right, let's just do all of it at once. It's been fun.
It's like that 2-year time skip that happens in One Piece. Like, 2 years goes by and we're like,
oh, dude, Eric went into the hyperbolic time chamber, man. He trained up.
I'm telling you, man.
Y'all give me too much credit.
Bring the heat.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's awesome to hear, because yeah, this ish is depressing. Like, I can only imagine, what you guys are used to, going full speed ahead to full stop, and it's just like, yeah, lots of built up. So,
well, I don't even really view it as a full stop. I just feel it. I view it as a pivot, because yeah, we were going full steam ahead playing shows or whatnot, but it's like, okay, you can't do that anymore. What are you going to do? So like a lot of people took a huge hiatus from rehearsing. I mean, we did too, for a little while, but then it was like, okay, wait a minute. Like, we had all this momentum coming up to this point. There has to be something we can do. And, that's why we're writing content. There's a bunch of cool stuff we have planned. We're dropping a single later this month too, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, for sure. That word that you used, pivot, was like so like yes, because that's what everyone who's like continued to do stuff during coronavirus, like that is like the word of the year right now is like pivot. Because some people just kind of gave up, but a lot of people were like, yo, we know. Like, hell no. And
Right.
I'm glad you made that distinction, because you're right. I mean, look at you. I mean, look what you guys have accomplished like so far. You guys had a whole album come out, and I'm assuming you recorded it during 2020.
So that album, actually, that was probably not even probably, it is our earliest record. We recorded that back in 2019 and had hopes to release it in 2020. And then coronavirus hit. So we kind of sat on it for a while, and we ended up releasing it beginning of this year. So
Got it. Got it. I mean, I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
I mean, it's a process. I mean, I will say for a fairly new band, we only been a band for what, 2 years now, 2.5,
Yeah, a
like
little.
2 years. It was pretty ambitious to jump in. Hell, we started recording in January, like literally 3 months after we were formed, because like I was like, wow, I really want to capture this. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, the takes that you hear on Homegrown, some of those were recorded late 2018. A few of those recorded 2019. I don't think we did any actual recording of like instruments on that record in 2020, but 2018 and 2019 is when we tracked and did all of that.
Word. That's dope. That's dope. Yeah. I guess there's a lot of ways to do albums, and you got to do what you got to do, I guess. You know what I mean? Like whether it's recording over however long, or that I never really thought about. Sometimes it takes patience. Sometimes it takes patience.
Yeah, it was a tough little lesson, because it's like in my mind, I'm just such a okay. Let's let's move on. Let's get it. So, I mean, I like the record personally, but where we are now, like right now, 2021 Tribe Quartet versus Homegrown is a completely different ensemble. We're definitely more. We're just better now.
Cool. Well, we'll talk more about that later. First
Yeah.
off, I kind of want to, going back to the beginning, like, it was so funny. My boss at Jamu, like, he mentioned it to me, and I didn't even like. I'm so familiar with A Tribe Called Quest, and it wasn't until he's like, who are they called? He's like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, A Tribe Quartet. And he's like, wait, what? A Tribe Called Quest? I was like, no. And I was like, oh, was that on purpose? That cadence of it all. Like, was that on purpose?
So yes and no.
Oh yeah, by the way,
yeah.
Nice.
For those who don't know, A Tribe Called Quest is a group from Queens. They came out in the 80s, and they kind of, man, they just have their own flavor of things. So please go on.
They had their own sound. But definitely innovative and influential rap group. Like those guys are absolutely amazing. But going back to the name, yes and no. The name was partially inspired by a lesson I had with Nicholas Payton when I was in New Orleans. And he essentially said to me, in one of the topics we were talking about, I think we were talking about getting really connected with the music and really paying homage to the music and whatnot. He said the best way to be able to understand the music and to understand how to be able to play this stuff is to put yourself in that situation, put yourself in that tribe, put yourself in that with those people, walk amongst them and soak in what they had to soak in to get their influences so that they can speak the way they speak musically. So, calling us a Tribe Quartet, I guess, is saying I guess it's paying homage to a few things. It's like, okay, we respect the founders and the creators of the music. It's Black American music. That's what I call my music. A lot of people like to call it jazz, but we play Black American music. But I digress.
Right.
But yeah. But it's partially saying that we are a tribe. We are influenced by our people around us, by our environments. I mean, that's kind of what, to me at least, Homegrown is a symbol of. It's like, okay, this is just a combination of all of our written tunes that are inspired by our homegrown experiences. Like, I'm from Sacramento, I was born in Sacramento. So, but yeah, going back to the tribe thing, we're just trying to bring it all together. Like, we are a tribe, we are a quartet. Like, it was, I don't know, I did like the ring to it because it was familiar to Tribe Called Quest, of course. And even with how we're operating now and where we're moving, I'm trying to really incorporate the elements of like rap groups like them and I'm drawing blanks right now, but rap groups like them from the time, because it was a group of individuals who had an idea, who had just a dream, who had a passion, who had a talent, and they got together and just really honed their skills together. And like, that's kind of what we're doing. We're like Skillshare, but in person with 4 people and just us.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. And you share that with others, in your area, like, I mean, you both, as well as, the other members, Zarin and Alan, or Elwood, um,
Mm.
you guys all play in, like, I don't even know, like 3 or 4 groups. Obviously, you sub for however many groups. So, um, you kind of take the community and you just, like, add a little this, add a little that, pinch of this. Like, I hear it.
Right? You know, it's it's like a recipe. You know, everybody just throws in their own herbs and spices.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure. I feel a Sacramento roots coming. I feel it. I
Stay
feel it.
tuned.
Oh my gosh. Um, so you started mentioning this, and let's get into it, man. Like, so Black American music is obviously not just jazz. It is funk, it is R&B, it is hip hop, it is rap, it is
it's
so much.
fundamentally it's fundamentally American music. Like
Yeah,
if we think about the vast majority of music that is pumped out of America, that is popular, that is timeless, I would even say, um, it all derives from Black Americans. You know, it all derives from Negro spirituals. Uh, I mean, heck, some of you music majors I know might know, but the first actual jazz recording was by a group of white people, white men actually, imitating Black jazz musicians. So, you know, it's a lot of things. Black American music, essentially, when I call my music, it's just paying homage to the original pioneers of the music, like
yeah,
at least the American music. Like, and I'm not denying, or we're not denying that it was partially influenced by a lot of things, because a lot of stuff was out there, but we're just really shining a light on this is Black American music. This is what it is. Like, everything you listed off, like R&B, hip hop, funk, soul, hell, disco, rock and roll,
yes,
metal. We can really go
yes.
ska. Like those were all pioneered by Black and Black American artists. So yeah,
But if we can call things like Afro-Caribbean music or like traditional like ragas, and if we can traditional Japanese music, if we can identify and label those things, I feel like it's should be the same for Black American artists. So
Yeah,
yeah, again, giving credit where credit's due.
totally.
Yep.
And, like, I mean, like you said as well, like, you guys get your influences from all different kinds of things, Latin, even some, like, Western music and stuff. But, um, like, acknowledging those I think what you're saying is acknowledging those differences and appreciating those differences is, like, so important, because it's like we're all different, it's not like we
Exactly.
have to agree on anything, but it's like, yeah,
Exactly.
man, if you freaking had part of me in your song, like, give me a shout out.
Right.
I'm right. Just acknowledge the influence. It's just incredibly ironic. I remember I had a young musician, because I made a post on my Instagram talking about Black American music, and I had a young musician comment something like, "Well, what if white Americans started calling rock and roll white American music?" First, I had to inform him on the history of rock and roll and where that was started. It was started by a Black woman, so it was a shocker. And look it up. And it's like, yeah, I mean, white Americans, I would feel, have every right to classify their music as their music if it was stemmed and rooted in their creation. A lot of people like to bring up banjos and bluegrass. Banjo was created in Africa. Bluegrass is a black style. Like, it started in the swamps. So it's like,
I
I
didn't
mean,
know
I have
that.
no problem. Yeah, I mean, look it up. This is
Yeah,
the actual truth here. Like,
exactly.
but yeah, I mean, again, we're all influenced by everyone. I'm not trying to discourage anybody from participating in the music. Again, it's just about giving credit where credit's due. The music is for the people. BAM is for the children. It's for generations to come. It's for everyone. It's just identifying where it comes from.
Boom. Exactly. It doesn't have to be more than that.
Bada boom.
Bada boom. And you pretty much fleshed it out right there. Is, there's a lot of Chuck Berrys getting jacked by Elvis Presley's. Nothing against Elvis Presley, but, like,
Yeah, I mean, look,
jacked. Got jacked.
I'm yeah, but look, it happens throughout. It still happens today. I mean, there are plenty of examples of artists who have recorded a song and then it's re-recorded and essentially washed, we'll just say, so that it can be fed to a more to a different audience group without even acknowledging people. I mean, the fact that we have these distinctions between this and black this is like interesting. I don't know. That's a whole other topic though.
Yeah, no, totally, totally. A little bit more on yourselves. I felt like everyone could appreciate your guys' look on, being your own boss. You guys have a lot of obviously leeway on how you guys conduct yourselves and how you conduct your business, you.
Mhm.
So I mean, can you talk about the discipline of it or the environment of it at all?
Eric, you want to answer this one? I feel like I'm talking a lot.
Oh no, no, you're all good. You're all good. Especially when we're talking about Black American music stuff, I like you taking the front on that because I'm here to like listen and learn and educate and just see the acknowledgement. But for this kind of stuff, shoot, I work out at a couple schools, and so I'm kind of my own boss where like I set my own schedule and like pick what students I have and all that. But I'm still lucky that I'm in like, I guess, more of a traditional job, so I don't have to worry about that too much.
Yeah.
But as far as the music stuff and being your own boss with that kind of thing, it's kind of like just whatever you want to do, like what part of it you want to focus on, because there's so many different parts. You can focus on the songwriting part, you can focus on just like the technical playing stuff and working yourself up that way. And I guess it's just more about just like keeping yourself driven and pushed, which after Corona is very intimidating and difficult. And so I think that's like what a lot of us are working on right now. It's just like, where are we getting that drive, and like how do we keep pushing ourselves, and like whichever avenue it's going to be.
Totally.
Yeah, exactly what he said. I do find though, I'm learning because of the whole pivot thing that there are a lot of hats to wear when it comes to being like your own boss and what direction going to. Like ultimately at the end of the day, it's your choice on where you want to move and how you want to move and what is more, what's important to you musically or whatever your craft may be. But the more I'm in it, it's like the more I'm finding that it's more than just the music sometimes. Because like now I'm having to think about, okay, we got to make sure everything's funded. We got to make sure stuff makes sense to, just it has to make sense. If it doesn't make sense, then it's like already failed. We have to make sure that, we have album cover, album artwork. We have to make sure we have quick write-ups about these tunes. And we also have to make sure we have a way to promote and get this stuff out to people. I really like the approach I'm taking now. You can find all of the Tribe Quartet music on Bandcamp at the moment. The reason we're going through Bandcamp is we're just trying to build up our organic following. I mean, yeah, I could throw the music on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and then it's just out there for the world. But I want to see from a word of mouth perspective how far we can get as an ensemble in coronavirus, pushing our music. And so far, since our release back in January with the album, it's been pretty promising. It's actually really good, and it's nice to see these results firsthand as opposed to like, let me wait to the end of the year or whatever, Spotify or Apple Music uses to let artists know. And plus, on top of that, I love the support I get back from my community with this direct approach too. It's like, I'm finding that instead of hopping on some sort of bandwagon and just jumping over to these streaming platforms, is cool and convenient sometimes, but like seeing the people who will go out of their way to support and push what we're doing, it's just more fuel for us to keep doing what we're doing, to keep being our own bosses. It's great. It's just giving me it's giving me this nice support, that support that you hear a lot of artists talk about that they get from their home cities or whatever. I feel like we as Tribe Quartet are receiving that support from our peers and people who genuinely enjoy our music. So yeah, being your own boss. Bada boom.
Yeah. So I actually hear like two different like avenues along the same route. So like Eric, going back to you, you mentioned that you work for a school. Are you on a contract basis? Are you like an actual employee of the school? What's the vibe there?
Yeah, it's like two little private schools out in Rockland that are just like
Right.
small businesses, after school programs for kids coming in just to do
Baby.
stuff. And so I've been there for like, she's like 4 or 5 years now. And so I'm like an employee there, just like teaching a bunch of students. I think I'm at like 40 or 45 right now or something like that. So yeah, it's a good gig, like great people to work with, like the easiest job that I've had as far as like just what you have to do and like the hours and stuff. Like it's not like construction or anything. It's just like show up and like play guitar and like teach it to people, which is really rewarding as well.
Yeah, totally. It's being connected to another entity, but I'm looking for the word synergetic, kind of, it's like you help them, they help you, and you provide them with like that level of like, hey, like this is what you do, if you want to do this is what you do, and
Right.
they keep people flowing for you. So
Yeah, totally.
that's
Some
awesome.
of my students I've had for like a long time now, and I've seen them like grow up through like middle school into high school and things like that, and like sticking with it, and like how far they progressed, as well as just like growing up and like things like that. So like that part of it is like great. Like some of my students, it's just like I get to kick it with them for like half an hour a week and just like catch up and like play a little guitar. So it's perfect.
That's wild. That's wild. And then like on the opposite side of the spectrum, it seems like the opposite side of the spectrum is, David McKissick, he's got his 6-shooter. He's freaking just a hired gun over here, ready to roll. Like, I mean, obviously it's different, but I wouldn't say it's like you're in a worse position. I mean, you have a lot more of that pivot space, right? I mean, like,
Yeah, I mean, again, it's all about work ethic. I mean, it's one piece of the same pie. Like it all coincides with each other. Like, but yeah, I mean, it can be challenging. I remember early on, it was like, okay, how am I going to generate revenue? And I even picked up a job and a whole thing, like to sustain myself. But the more I'm going through it, and the more I'm making this pivot, I'm like, okay, like I can still support myself through the music safely, without having to put myself in any danger, like as far as viruses or any of that go, and still, yeah, I have time to go. I still have time for that. I can do that. Like, it's just about diversifying your efforts. Like, I'm finding that I'm like now I'm starting to like I'm in the mindset of like, let me get some summer shows or something. Let me start generating this revenue for me and the boys a couple months down the line. It's just further planning. Like, again, it's work ethic. You just have to really be on top of it. I mean, a lot of cats who were in my position probably had to probably still have to be in their jobs or whatever, because they can't figure out how am I wording this? I don't know, like a lot of the musicians for hire who are like myself really had to really restructure how they were approaching everything, because I will say that, oh my God, I will say that lifestyle can be fast and loose if you let it be, but if you have good discipline and good work ethic, I think it'll be fine. I mean, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's, everyone's talking about how like, oh, it sucks to be, like working under someone, but like you were talking about with the hats, man, you got to think of a lot of stuff. And at the end of the year, I'm sure you're having to get all your ducks in a row for your taxes and stuff, and I'm sure that's not easy.
Come on now.
Come on
now. I'm literally look, and it's all a learning curve. I literally went through a whole thing with my bank right now because I was paying one of the engineers for our records. It's like trying to pay him, and my bank's like, "Hey, it looks like business activities happening on your personal bank account, so we're gonna go ahead and shut you down." And it's just like, oh, I got to make sure I open a whole. I have to do a. It's not like, okay, here's money. I have to actually go through the process of creating a business account for. I have to. It's a lot. It's a lot. So, but it's just learning lessons, man. Like,
right.
I knew what I was getting into when I decided that I wanted to start an ensemble. I mean, Tribe Quartet isn't my first ensemble that I've led, but it is the longest ensemble I've led, and I intend to keep it that way.
So
Spurgunda.
about homegrown. Like, let's get into it. So it was recorded over, I don't know, probably about 1.5 years. Yeah.
Mhm.
And, where'd you get that done at in Sacramento?
We got that done at the Bat Notes studio. Shout out to the Bat Notes. Shout out to Uncle Rod. He is in Sacramento OG. A lot of you guys know him, even if you don't know him. And yeah, he's been really helping. He was really encouraging with starting it, actually. So yeah, shout out to the Bat Cave.
And yeah, I mean, it took a while. Also, so here, let me pull this up. Elise, would you mind pulling up their album cover and then sharing that? So like, I love this album cover, and I was talking to Eric about, I was like, yo, how the hell did you get this together? And apparently you guys had someone from Sacramento, like an artist,
Oh
do this. So
no, actually not from Sacramento.
oh really? Okay.
No, so this artwork is actually done by my amazing, talented friend, Luann Alexandria. She is based out of Lille, France, actually.
Oh, I'm
All
not mad
good.
at that. Hey, you know what, Eric? My bad for misquoting you.
Oh no, not about it
But
at all.
this is even better.
I was a little outside of Sacramento. It was just France, like right over. It's all good.
Totally. Okay. Back
But yeah,
to
she's an amazing sketch artist. Primarily before COVID, she did a lot of live, like Black American music shows. So she'd sit in the front row and sketch people live as they're improvising or whatever. But I remember when I asked her to commission, for this piece, for the album, and I really wanted to reflect our characteristics as who we are as bandmates, our individual selves, and B, the really earthy tribal elements of what it means to, or I guess what comes to mind when you think of tribes. So that's why you get a lot of hues of brown and yellows, and there's some splashes of green in there too. But yeah, she really popped all the way off with this artwork. I'm really happy with how it came out. I can't wait for the shirts too. Shirts are gonna have individual masks on them. It's gonna be
Oh
cool.
my God.
Yeah.
Bruh. I'm just like the vibes is just so there. And I get like very headhunter vibes.
Yeah.
Up in here. I was just like, yo, these guys are crazy right now. Like, and this is the personalized, like, I'm just wondering when you guys are gonna have like custom masks made. Like that's what I'm waiting for.
So that is
Oh,
the talk. I remember I would bring it up in rehearsals and just be like, well, we gotta get the masks. It'd be cool. We each get a mask. Yeah, I mean, I'm down for that idea. It just comes down to funding, of course. Like, and it's the supporters like you guys listening to this. If you feel so inclined, hop on over to our Bandcamp and check out some of our music and support us in that regard. We can get masks and all of that goodness out there if you guys
yes
would like it.
And we'll even scroll over to the next one. We have like close-ups of everyone. I want you guys to like just kind of take in all the aspects of this. David McKissick plays trumpet as well as keys, and he plays one at a time. He plays them both together. It's a very how would you describe your relationship between your trumpet and piano? But you can see it.
Yeah, that's
basically you can see it on this picture. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I really like this picture for a lot of reasons. A lot of people don't know my first instrument that I learned was piano. I'm self-taught. I taught myself piano, and I played it semi-seriously up to the capacity that I could as a self-taught young musician for a while. It wasn't until my sophomore year in high school that I got into trumpet. But I feel that this particular image, I think, accurately describes my relationship with the both of them. It's like they're both very present in my life, especially now. And I don't think I could live without either one of them. So
it's so funny. And your style of of using those instruments together as well as separately, like it reminds me, I was in this clinic and I was like, hey man, like I work with like a a very linear instrument, and I'm having trouble with this chords, man. Like, what's the deal? And so he's like, well, he sat down on the piano and he had his trumpet in his hand. He's like, the trumpet's like a one-handed instrument. So then he was like comping while he was playing a song, and I was like, of course. And then I see you around town, and I'm like, oh, man, he's coming back.
And yeah, honestly, I'm surprised it isn't as known, because there are quite a few cats who play, quite a few multi-instrumentalists who play trumpet and keys, or two instruments at the same time. Nicholas Payton is one of them, and is phenomenal. Like, he's one of my main influences, period. Joey DeFrancesco, a famous organ player, he played with Miles Davis, also plays trumpet and saxophone very well, and can play organ and trumpet at the same time, which is a whole different beast than keys and trumpet.
Right, he's got
that
the
is
pedal shoes.
You have to be a phenom. You have to be. This is horrible.
Yeah.
You have to be a phenom to like be able to do something like that. But
Yo.
I don't even know when I started doing it. Now that I really think about it, I just haven't done it.
Yeah, totally. Arturo Sandoval, I've seen him play it too.
Yeah, I saw that really recently. Yeah, he can. Yeah, him. I think there's Tony Galassi. I think maybe also can do that. He's a more modern cat.
Right.
Outside of the people I listed right now, I can't name too many people, but there are quite a few. Even a couple cats here in town, like will even do it too. Like, Joey Archie or Tyree Amir. I don't know if he's even in town, but he also will play keys and trumpet on a gig occasionally.
Yeah, totally. Well, Elise, if we could go to Eric's, it's the very next one. Yeah, man, this is like, I feel like this is like the most functional. If you were to be on stage, like just like jamming, you got like the straw on the bottom. Like, I feel like this is the most comfortable for sure.
All that straw just like waving around as I play. That thing would be so cool.
Oh my gosh. And you have like, do you actually have 4 guitars, or is that just your guitar crown?
I think it's my guitar crown, which I really like. But at my place, I think I do have like 4 guitars that are like play worthy, like take it out to a show and play on it. So actually that's accurate too. And it just looks really cool.
I appreciate the fact, like, before I say what I was about to say, how many guitars do you have?
Including like the ones I had when I was a little kid.
The ones that you well, I guess that's a.
Yep, I mean they all count.
Right, like I got like the really little ones, like my $60 one from like Amazon from when I was in like 7th grade.
Oh,
like
word.
I don't know if I play on that much anymore, but I think I got like probably 7 or 8 total.
Eric, I've only seen 2 of those guitars. Hold on.
I know.
Wait a minute. You got 8 guitars? 7 or 8 guitars?
I got like 3 of them you don't even want to see. Like they're nothing.
Wait a minute now.
But the nice ones I got. You saw that one, like the Gibson I got from my old professor Steve Holman at Sac State.
That thing sounds so good.
Yeah, that thing's beautiful. Steve, like I've been studying it with him for years, and he's like a family member now. He's great, and so I like go over there for lessons on Saturday mornings and like see his cat who would like lay down my guitar case and stuff. So I got that guitar from him. I got the PRS that we've seen a whole bunch of. I've got 2 really pretty acoustic guitars, like my classical string that I'll do all the Spanish stuff on, and then just like this really pretty like mahogany Martin. And what do we have, 4? So like 4 main ones that I'll mess around with.
Yes, love it.
Well, I have 2 trumpets. God.
Hey, man, you play 2 instruments at once. Like, don't you? You're doing fine.
Yeah, you're not even talking about your keys, dude.
Right.
Oh man,
You got more gear than me, so it's all square.
Yeah, right. So is that 8 guitars, not including the was it the the nostalgic guitars that you had when you were a child?
Yeah. Oh no, that 8's definitely including those. I don't got quite that many yet.
Okay.
Because then I got like my 4 or like 3 guitars maybe from when I was like just first starting out.
Right.
Like this little 3/4 one that's like a ukulele size, and just like my very first electric guitar that I annoyed the hell out of my sister with for like 4 years, just playing on that thing.
It's the little things that count, you know.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, no, I was about to say, I was like, thank God you're not one of those guitarists that just has a library of guitars. You're like, yeah, that's for when I play this song, and then this one's for when I play this song.
Yeah, that would take a lot of money, and if I had that much money, hopefully I wouldn't just be spending it all on me. So,
Right.
yeah, I'd probably like want to share that around instead of getting like 200 guitars.
Totally. And then let's I mean, we might as well highlight Zarin and Elwood's masks as well. If we could go to the next one. This
I
one I
really
feel
think
like
this
would
would.
be the most uncomfortable one to wear. Like this one's heavy.
No, yeah, you got to buy the cymbals and the shell separate to wear with the full mask. So
Right.
yeah, that's going to be at least a $200 purchase if you're.
We got it.
Yeah, but totally uncomfortable to wear. But I really feel like she popped off with this one too. Like, can we just appreciate and admire the detail in each of these masks, even though it's like what it. Can we just appreciate it? Like, that's some skill. It looks great. I feel like it really describes Zaren's character as far as a drummer. I mean, she really captured his locks. Like his locks look nice too. I can't lie. Like
Clean logs. Clean logs. I love the stylizing of like the sheen of the metal of the cymbal too. Like
yes,
that style. Like I mean, it doesn't have to look realistic. It is just style, and it's just very
it's just flair.
yeah.
Again, shout out to Luann. She really popped off on all of these masks on the album artwork for Homegrown.
And then last one, we'll go to Elwood's. This is
I
like
feel like this would be about
ahead.
on the same level. I feel like this would be on about the same level of comfortableness as like probably like Eric's, because like
Yeah, I'm with you.
you know what I mean. That top part, which is totally the body of his bass, could be like lightweight little crown. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that does okay. I was trying to like I was like, where's the bass aspect of this? And that is his body. Like duh.
And she even got his locks in there too, and
Yeah.
like the way his face pops out. Like, yeah, she really captured. I think
Yeah.
that's even hell the cut of his actual bass guitar. Now that
Right.
I think about it.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you see the 6 streaks that are coming out of his head.
Yes.
Elwood plays a 6-string bass. So I don't know if that was intentional even, but dang, I didn't even notice it until now. That's some. Go ahead, Luann.
Go ahead, Luann. You better draw.
Oh God.
Oh God. Yeah. So anyway, like the album is super awesome. I believe on Bandcamp it's this, is it the first Friday or the second Friday that they give all the profits to the artists?
I believe it's the first Friday. I'll have to double check with you on that one.
I'll confirm that, and I'll put that in a caption. But if you would like to support this band to continue what they're doing, to keep on making music, and to finally be able to afford to make these awesome Headhunter masks, check them out on Bandcamp right now. Yeah, First Friday gives them 100% of the profits, and it's a Tribe Quartet, homegrown. You had a single named Always with Bossy
Mhm.
Vibe. You had a couple other featured artists on that thing. I'll go ahead and share that boy right now. Boom, this is your little album art. I'm sorry if it's a little fuzzy, but this is the gist of the single Always. Real quick, as kind of a wrap up, like what was the experience like, making this? This seems special. I don't know why, but it seems special.
This song is special. Always was actually originally intended to be on Homegrown right after Dream Weary, because they segued really nice together. However, I don't know, the idea, the spark wasn't captured in the way that I quite wanted it to be. So, and I love working with Bossy. Bossy is such an awesome, amazing artist in town. Definitely check out his music. But Bossy's he's super creative as far as like when it comes to lyrical content. I love his lyrics, and I love where his mind's at harmonically. So working with him in the studio, like, hey man, here's an idea. I remember shooting him over like just a little scratch file from my phone. Like, I'm really digging these changes and I'm really hearing your voice on that. And then from day one, he's just been about it. And working with him in that setting was really nice. I got to do a lot of stuff that I wanted to really do with this record on this particular recording that we released. And I'm very like just happy with it. Like John John Bologna, shout out to John Bologna. He's touching all of our stuff now. He has a phenomenal sound. As far as an engineer goes, he's a really cool guy. Hire that man if you need some recording. Also, shout out to John GK out in LA who recorded the strings. I made it a point to get all live instruments, anything that's pertaining to Tribe Quartet, everything's live. So we got a live Rhodes. The whole take that if you listen to just the four of us playing on that record, that was all live. That was all one take. In the studio live. Like we went in there, we did a couple stabs, we liked this one, and we didn't edit that at all because it just worked well. And then we added those other flavors and elements on top. We got Billy Thompson on percussion. Shout out to Billy Thompson, plays drums for the Gold Souls. Shout out to the Gold Souls. And of course Bossy, and of course the boys on the record too. That one, I got to have a little more fun with that one as far as like creative input. And just overall, just structure of the song. Like, I'm very happy I got to have that.
Yeah. I'm assuming
and this
that was your
artwork
joint that you wrote.
Yes, yeah, I wrote the changes and the general progression. Bossy came up with all the lyrics. Again, shout out to Bossy again. And the artwork, I'm forgetting Homeboy's name, but he really did an excellent job capturing a Blue Note type vibe with this album cover. So
Yes. He's mysterious.
Yeah, I'll show you his name. I have it in my email, and I'm totally horrible with names and faces.
Oh no, I was just describing like the vibe. It's just like David.
Oh shit.
And then like I think it's Bossy. Like, pretty sure.
Kind of cool. It looks like it was shot in the 80s, in my opinion. Like
slow exposure or whatever that technique is called. I love it.
Facts.
Okay, so what are we to expect next from Tribe?
So we do have a single that will be dropping either later this month or early next month, more likely later this month. That one's entitled Good Morning. That one's just a cool instrumental, really great vibes. Eric is popping off with amazing guitar solos. Tap a second. I do want to jump off a slight tangent. When we were recording this song, I think we did maybe 4 takes. I think we did 4 takes. Like every single time, Eric had some beautiful angelic solo. Every time, without fail. And I believe this is, we didn't even rehearse before this. This is us like maybe a week or two after not seeing each other. And we go in there, it's a basic joint, but Eric, you are like super fan, bro. You are like really, really going in on all of those takes, and I like all of them. So,
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, but we'll be dropping Good Morning in a couple weeks, so look out for that. We got a few things coming up. We have another show on the 20th at the Brick House. If you guys are interested in that.
Frequency?
Yes, yeah, that one's going to be a really nice, fun social distance show. So please come through to that if you're itching to see some live music in person.
Right. So that's hosted by what band? What group?
I believe it's Theo and Madcap. Madcap and the Love Frequencies, I believe, is their name.
Love Frequency. Got it.
Yeah, those guys are solid.
Yes. Is that music for the sake of music? Is there something else tied with that? What's the
so I guess it's just music for the sake of music. Like, people have not been able to play for people in a while. So to be somewhere where we can be outside and can hear good music safely is a win-win to me.
Win-win-win.
Facts.
I love it. That's about it for me. So remember, you guys, check out A Tribe Quartet. They are playing for us along at the Remedy Review Studio, or is that Torch? I think it's a Torch.
Torch Club.
Oh,
Or Torch Club.
yes. So housed by, housed by Torch Club, produced by Sac State UNiQUE, and with tech provided by a Remedy Review Studios, featuring A Tribe Quartet. That's about it. So this is gonna be Wednesday. It's gonna be March
17th.
17th at 12 p.m. noon. Check it out, guys. This is not a group that you should be sleeping on. If you don't look now, they're gonna just shoot into the stratosphere and they're just gonna be gone. So at least get a chance to check them out, while they're still in Sacramento, while they're still humble, Please remember us, guys, when you're
we'll forever be humble.
But is there anything else you guys would like to share, before we head out?
Follow A Tribe Quartet on Facebook and Instagram at A Tribe Quartet. Spragunda.
There it is.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So you guys have a good rest of your weekend, and safe driving, David. Safe teaching, Eric. Oh yeah, this is your rest day, so just enjoy it.
Safe chilling, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Very good.
Also, I just wanted to give you a little thank you. Elise helped put together all of these visuals and all of
Thank you, Elise.
Help me put the show together.
Elise.
Period.
Oh, no problem. I just want to thank you guys. I had a great time getting to know you a little bit more. Tribe Quartet sounds like an amazing group. Just followed you guys on Instagram, and I loved learning.
I just saw that
today. Yeah, I was like, oh wait, yeah, follow instantly. So like right on it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. I'm excited for noon for sure, for the nooner.
Yeah, that's gonna be a blast. I'm excited too.
Yeah.
Yay! Oh my gosh.
That'd be great.
Oh yeah. All right, y'all.
All right, man. Peace.
All right. Good to see you.
Weekend,
Take it easy, guys.
You too, Elise. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. You too.
Sac State UNiQUE, Tribe Quartet. Sac State UNiQUE,